Assalamualaikum. I would like to quickly introduce myself. I am Nurwahida binti Roslan. Did you know that Pareto analysis was named after Vilfredo Pareto? Vilfredo Pareto is an Italian economist and sociologist. He lived at the end of the 19th century from 1948 to 1923. Pareto analysis was named after him because of phenomenon that he observed. According to his observation in 1906, he noticed that 20% of the Italian population owned 80% of Italy's wealth. He offered a mathematical assertion to explain the disparity of wealth distribution in his country. In the late 1940s, Dr. Joseph M. Juran has discovered that Pareto analysis can be useful in quality issues. Dr. Joseph M. Juran was a Romanian-born American engineer and management consultant. As a result of his observation, 80-20 rule has been applied. He has applied the principle to work in quality and quality management, and he recognized that the Pareto analysis comply with the principle of the vital few and the trivial many. In addition, he identified that 20% of the defects causing 80% of the problems. Pareto analysis can be defined as a formal technique useful where many possible causes of action are competing for attention. It is a statistical technique in decision-making used for the selection of a limited number of tasks that produce significant overall effect. This technique helped to identify the top 20% of causes that needed to be addressed to resolve the 80% of the problems. A method of analysis based on the concept that 20% of the variables included in the analysis are responsible for 80% of the result. In other words, the idea by doing 20% of the work can generate 80% of the benefit of doing entire job. Here are the advantages and disadvantages. The advantages help to identify issues and prioritize the improvement opportunities that bring the most value to the organization. When organization works efficiently, can achieve quick improvement in overall process and will tackle high-cost issue. Next, Pareto analysis is a simple decision-making technique for assessing competing problems and measuring the impact of fixing them. With a focus of resolving problems can increase organization cohesiveness. On the disadvantage, the sole reliance on past information in Pareto analysis can be deceptive. Some past information may not accurately represent the current issue. For instance, the information may include past changes but may not accurately reflect how frequently in which direction those changes are likely to occur in the future. Last but not least, analysis lies in the accuracy of the scoring will lead to inaccurate results.
Assalamualaikum. Thank you Wahida. My name is Noazati binti Azman. So, I will proceed the presentation with Pareto analysis process. The first process to do is project manager must list and identify all the tasks and problem in the project. Prepare a list of possible problem that might happen through information gathering. We have few information gathering techniques such as discussion, interview, survey, questionnaires, and observation. For example here, project manager can have a discussion with project team member, conduct a customer survey, distribute a questionnaire, or through observation. Second process is, after problem is identified, project manager should identify the causes of each problem. Identify the root causes that lead to each problem. Project manager can use several techniques such as 5 why technique, cause and effect analysis technique, and root cause analysis technique. For example, the problem detected is customer dissatisfaction. Therefore, project manager should identify what are the causes that lead to this problem. The third process is add mark and score to the problem. Score and rank each problem according to its importance or level of impact to the project. Score and rank method may be vary according to the types of problem. For example, we can rank the problem from the number of its occurrences. Next process is group the problem. For example, for problem with similar causes can be grouped together and categorized as one problem. For example, all problems caused by customer inefficiency are grouped together as one. Okay, last process is arrange in the problem in descending order. Remember, in third process, we add score and rank the problem, right? So, in this process, we will arrange the problem according to its score from highest to lowest score. The course with highest score should be prioritized. So, after done with analysis process, project manager can proceed to construct a Pareto bar chart for clear vision of the problem. What is Pareto bar chart? Pareto bar chart is a series of bar charts which reflect the frequency of occurrences or impact to the problems. It is a tool used by project manager to make decisions on which area that should be prioritized and focused on. Pareto bar chart helps team members to study and analyze the problem. It is easy to read and understand because we can see it through a diagram. Pareto bar chart indicates the 20% of costs that contribute to the 80% of the problem. Next, I will present on the step to construct Pareto bar chart. First, determine bar chart classification and interval for analysis. For example, use interval of 10 for in y-axis. Second, determine the total occurrence of each problem. Problem with small occurrence can be grouped together as others. Next, compute the percentage for each problem by dividing the category of problem with grand total and multiply it by 100%. After that, arrange the problem to descending order from highest to lowest percentage. Move on, compute the cumulative percentage by adding the percentage for each category to preceding category. After all computation is done, project manager can start construct x-axis and y-axis. X-axis is labeled as cost of the problem. Bear in mind that we have two y-axes. One is on the left for number of occurrence, while the other one on the right for the percentage from 100% to 0%. Then we can start draw the bar. Place the highest bar as the first bar on the left and continue until the lowest bar. After that, plot and draw cumulative percentage line according to percentage in the right y-axis. From right y-axis, identify the 80% point and draw a horizontal dotted line until it intersects with cumulative percentage line. And from the intersection point, draw the dotted line vertically towards x-axis. So, from the bar chart, we can conclude the 20% cost of the problems that contribute to 80% of the problem. So, that's all from my presentation. I will pass the presentation to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Shahidatul Aswad binti Zulkarnain. I will give presentation for Article 1. This article is about the management of digital library project. The process to apply Pareto analysis has been explained by my friend earlier. So here, The project manager and team is planning to manage a project which is to implement digital library to assist students and faculty finding sources in the library through online method. In this project, the manager has identified 5 issues or problems faced by the students and faculty as a whole. Here are the list of the problems. Issue number 1 is students face difficulty in searching for book required by using online method. Issue number 2, it is hard for the students to find articles related to their study. This is maybe due to the reason that the students are required to have precise name of the author or full name of the articles. Third issue is students and faculty find it difficult to identify the hours of branch libraries, while for the fourth issue is students having difficult time to find related course material for their assessment tasks. And lastly, the issue is faculty's difficulty in finding subject specialists. After all the problems have been listed down, the project manager has also determined the measurable effect of interest to determine which problem should be or required to be prioritized. The number of users' severity in facing the problems is identified as the common root of the problem. This will be the y-axis on the graph that we'll construct later. From the table below, the number of sound wave is from the article. Percentage is computed to determine the importance of the problem. The individual sound wave is divided by the total number of sound wave, which is 222. For issue number 1, to get the percentage of 40.54%, 90 is divided by 222 and times with 100%. The computation is similar for the other 4 issues. After that, the issue is then arranged or sorted in decreasing order. The higher number of percentage will be prioritized. To compute the cumulative percentage, the cumulative percentage of previous issue is added with the percentage of current issue. For example, to compute cumulative percentage for issue number 1, the previous cumulative percentage is none, which means 0, plus with the 40.54%. For issue number 2, previous one is 40.54% plus with 33.78%. Here is the bar chart of the digital library project. The bar chart is constructed based on the percentage of issue, where issue 1 is 40.54, issue 2 is 33.78, issue 4 is 11.26, issue 3 is 8.11, and fifth issue is 6.31. The yellow line is constructed based on the cumulative percentage computed earlier. Issue 1 is 40.54, issue 2 74.32, issue 4 85.58, issue 3 93.69, and issue 5 is 100. From the yellow line, issue that have the cumulative percentage below that 80% is issue 1 and issue 2. That represents the 20% of the problems that the manager required to prioritize. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Aswad. Assalamualaikum, and I am Elida binti Sulaiman. I am here to talk about second article that related to our syllabus, which is Pareto analysis. The title of this article is Motivations and Limitations in Implementing Halal Food Certification. Briefly, I would like to summarize this article so that it will be easier to understand the application of Pareto analysis here. Basically, most of the food companies in implementing halal food certification to maintain the quality and safety of their product. In Malaysia, Department of Islamic Development Malaysia, also known as JAKIM, is the competent authority that responsible for halal certification. This body will ensure the halal status of the product, whether it meets the requirement and the procedures. However, implementation of halal certification has its own advantage and disadvantage. As I mentioned just now, The certificate helps to improve product quality and safety. By having quality and safety product will help the company to increase their image and reputation. Once the food company become well known and stable despite a good reputation in food industry, it will be easy for them to expand their business whether in local or in foreign market. Hence, the company may gain customer confidence and demand since the certificate covers consumer expectation as well. Besides, food companies also suffer from the implementation of the certification. Staff within the company who do not have enough knowledge could affect the process since the procedure is quite complex. Study has shown that even manager could not apply the process correctly. Therefore, the company need to spend more to improve company's performance. For example, sending staff for training to gain more knowledge and skill improvement. Companies that are having financial issue might have difficulties in implementation this certification since higher costs required to run the process smoothly. Small food company that could not afford could think of other alternatives, such as seeking for advice from the authority in charge. Now, I would like to relate this article with Pareto analysis case study. The advantage and disadvantage have been divided into 4 quadrants, which is major advantage or disadvantage of internal and measure of advantage or disadvantage of external factors. Through this process, we can identify which factor to be prioritized. Last but not least, the findings prove that lack of government support as a measure of disadvantage, even though this article focusing on quality and safety of the product. I would like to thank you for taking time out to listen to my presentation. Now I will pass this presentation to Ms. Farizan.
Assalamualaikum. I'm Nur Farizan binti Jafar will present on the specific industry that applied this Pareto analysis. We have chosen manufacturing industry at Brasov County, Romania. Based on the European Union statistic, during the past decade, 5 million out of 120 million people are suffered an accident at work. Annually, about 6,000 work accidents result in the death of workers. By carrying out this analysis, the problem and the main categories of causes can be identified and the contribution of each of them can be analyzed. Thus, specifying the area in which the effort for optimizing the result should be focused. The table shows the causes of workplace accidents. There are a total of 14 causes of workplace accidents in manufacturing industry at Brasov County, Romania. There are 4 main causes which are inappropriate performance of orders, same level faults such as loss of balance, slipping, tripping, and locking in, high level faults such as falling down, loss of balance, slipping, locking in, spontaneous reaction, and lastly, failure to observe in good time the operation indispensable to occupational safety. These 4 main causes accounts for 33% of the total causes of work accidents. These substantial causes accounted for 79.2 of the total work accidents in Brasov County. Even though it doesn't follow the 80% 20% rule. The top 4 causes accounts for the majority of work accidents in Brasov County. Controlling these main causes can reduce the number of work accidents. This is the Pareto chart for the work accidents in manufacturing industry at Brasov County. As you can see, there are a total of 14 number of causes of work accidents. The four main causes of work accidents account for 79.2% of the total work accidents in the manufacturing industry. To reduce the main causes such as inappropriate performance of order, this can be done by providing employees online training platform, in which digital platforms were provided where compulsory testing is done on the employees' training process. This is to test the employees on their knowledge during the training process. The elimination of formal situation involving only signing the training report without actually going through the training material will help in decreasing the likelihood of a work accident. Furthermore, the work accident relating to the safety of the employee can be reduced by providing a platform where employees can communicate in real time for matters involving on their safety during work. This is also to remove the implementation of unsafe technical solutions that may lead to unwanted occurrence events that can affect the worker's health or damage work equipment. Thank you. I will pass to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nabila binti Roslan. For conclusion, I can conclude that Pareto analysis is one of powerful tools problem-solving technique which is simple and efficient. The technique is to highlight the most critical issue and finding the effective solution for every causes. It also can be used by many different industries such as textile, retail store, banking institution, transportation industry, and others. An organization may deal with the various of problems such as drop in revenue, inefficiency of workers, lack of equipment, excess inventory, limited time and resources. In Pareto analysis, the 80/20 rule has been using because sometimes it is impossible to solve 100% of the problem. It is assumed that 80% of causes will generate 20% of result. Pareto analysis have 5 procedures to be followed. The 5 procedure consists of list and identify all the problems, identify the causes of problem, add mark and score, categorize the problem, and lastly, arrange the descending order. The result from all the steps will help management to prepare and improve in decision making. There are various of tools to be used for solving the problem, and each come with their own strength and weaknesses. Pareto analysis contribute to organizational efficiency. It can be done through the prioritize the biggest problem and focusing on finding the better solution. In this situation, the teamwork from all the employees can be achieved through the brainstorming, creative problem solving, and segregation of duties. Teamwork encourages employees to build the trust in working relationship, sharing ideas and experience from each other. Thus, can increase the productivity and profitability of the organization. Apart from the strength, there are also a few weaknesses in Pareto analysis, especially in small business companies. This is because the sole focus on the past information and find difficulty to assign the proper scoring to each factor of the problem that will lead organization receive an inaccurate result. As a part of the Six Sigma quality program, Pareto analysis is only one step along the path to success. But without Pareto analysis, it is likely that you will end up spending 80% of your time, effort, and resources to achieve just 20% of the outcome you are hoping for. That's all from us. Thank you for your time listening to our presentation.